I am very excited, and I think it's safe to say all of us involved are very excited to see this incredible energy in the room here today by all of you who have joined us for this news conference. On behalf of the City of Wichita, Sedgwick County, the Regional Economic Area Partnership, Young Professionals of Wichita, Wichita Downtown Development Corporation, and Visioneering, I'd like to welcome you all here today and thank you for the time that you're sharing with us today. I, along with Wayne Chambers, am co-chair of Visioneering, and it's my pleasure today to announce an exciting project, prioritization project, going on for our community and for our region. But before we do that, I'd like to welcome our elected officials here today. Would all elected officials from around the region please just hold your hand up high so we can recognize you? Thank you for coming and for your public service. As many of you know, Visioneering is a regional plan that was created from the voices of the public throughout the region. It started in 2004 with over 16,000 people providing their input on what they thought would make the region a great place to live and work. Over the years, we've updated that plan as individuals and organizations have worked on the various strategies within the plan. Last year, Mayor Brewer, and at that point in time, Chairman of the Sedgwick County Commission, Dave Unruh, challenged us. They asked us to help identify the priorities over the next 3 years that'll focus us and help us be a more competitive region, both for jobs and for people. With a grant from the John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, we began revisiting the Visioneering plan. And we would like to thank Phil Neff for representing the Community Foundation with us here today. So as we started to revisit the plan, we brought together the 140 organizations that are working on strategies within the plan. And we asked them, what are you doing today? And what do you think we can do to make the greatest impact in a short amount of time, identified as the next 3 years? We also included ideas from a workshop that was sponsored by Wichita Downtown Development Corporation, where participants were asked to give their feedback on what they would do to make Wichita a better or more interesting community. So we took all of this data, we analyzed it, we gathered it together to identify what things rose to the top as priorities or themes for our region. And in this particular case, there were 8 that stood out. What you see on the poster over here to my right, your left, is what we found through that process. There's 3 broad categories, and within that, there are 8 individual priorities. The categories are places to work, things to do, and people. Under things, we have a regional network of bike and walk paths, Arkansas River recreation, and more downtown Wichita activities for families of all ages. Under places to work, the far left category there, we have diversify our local economy by keeping industries already here and recruiting new jobs in new industries. And we also have market our region so other companies and people know what we have to offer and they want to come. And finally, under the people category in the middle, we have offer internships for young people, increase number of people in the region who advance their post-high school education either through degrees, certificates, or retraining opportunities, and have a reliable transit system to get people where they need to go. So this is what we found, and this fits within the context of what we've already been hearing in the community as we, for the past several years, have been working with our public and our private sectors. It's also what we're hearing from other communities throughout the country as they too compete for jobs and people, especially as they compete for young people. So now we want to take this to the public so that we can hear the public's input on what their top 3 priorities are. Young Professionals of Wichita has helped develop an online survey, and we have the link for that survey here today. So now it's your turn. We want to hear from people in the region. We want to know from you, what are the top 3 priorities that we, as a regional community, should focus on for the next 3 years? In addition to these priorities, if somebody, as they're going through the survey, would like to share an additional priority, there's an other option for them to share that as well. So now it's my pleasure to introduce to you Mayor Carl Brewer, who will tell us why this idea of focusing priorities is so critical for our future. Mayor Brewer?
Well, first let me say thank you, Summer, and thank you, Visioneering, YPW, and for all that you've done to get us to this point. Focusing our efforts on a few priorities over the next few years is critical to our region, and this is why it is about our people and our jobs. We know from visiting other cities and hearing what is being done there that we're in a global-wide competition for keeping businesses and recruiting new businesses here in the city of Wichita and our region. And businesses will not stay here, and they will not come here without a highly talented, trained workforce. We need to do all that we can to focus our efforts, getting things accomplished and make our region an attractive place for people to live, to work, and to play. In short, we're in a battle just beyond our regional borders, and communities out there are competing for our jobs and our businesses. Now that sounds strong, but it's the reality of today's world. We can't waste time. It will take everyone in this room, and more importantly, beyond this room, to make it happen. We're living in a time with limited resources, and to maximize those, we need real focus. We can't afford to go down the wrong road. We have plans, and we know what needs to be done, and we need action today. So I applaud the efforts of Visioneering to identify these priorities and to set us on the road to hear from people in our region. I urge everyone to take the survey online. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors. Take the survey, let us know, and let's make things happen in our communities. Summer?
Thank you, Mayor. Next, I would like to introduce Commissioner Norton, the Chair of the Board of County Commissioners for Sedgwick County. Commissioner Norton.
Thank you, Summer, and thank you, Mayor Brewer, for your comments. I have to commend the mayor and my colleague, Dave Unruh, for setting us on this course, issuing the challenge, and moving us down the path to talk about what our priorities are. I have to tell you, I've been a proud member of Visioneering Steering Committee since its inception. I've been on all the city-to-city visits, and the one thing we learned as we started to process this in the last 2 years in Louisville and Pittsburgh is that it's about a region, and it's about getting citizens' input, and it's about moving your community forward on those major priorities. At the county, we absolutely understand what the mayor has said. We're in a battle for jobs. We're in a battle for economic value. We're in a battle with other cities, other states, and truthfully, we're in a battle globally for jobs in our community. The good news is this. We know that when we work together, we can beat out the competition. We can be strong. We have a good track record on that in our community, and we too often forget that. The Entrust Bank Arena is a good example of without a plan and focus and many people working together, it wouldn't have happened. It's very important that we do that. The same is true with the Kansas Affordable Airfares Program, the Downtown Master Plan, and of course the National Center for Aviation Training, designed to meet the workforce needs of our community. As a county commission, I represent small towns, unincorporated areas, large cities, Wichita, and we all have different needs. But our economic future depends on us keeping, growing, and diversifying our economic base. We want to make this the region that is the best place to earn a living and build a life. So take a moment. In fact, that's all it takes to get online. Tell us what your priorities are. Tell your friends and neighbors that this is that important time when the public is engaged in telling elected officials, community leaders, and others, people of interest, what is important in our community. It's an online survey. You can get the information in a lot of different ways. Please go online and tell us what you think. It is critical for the future of Wichita, the small cities, Sedgwick County, our region, and the state. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And next, I would like to introduce Christy Williams, Augusta Mayor and the immediate past chair for the Regional Economic Area Partnership.
Thank you, Summer. I'm proud to represent the Regional Economic Area Partnership today and be part of this exciting project. I speak today not only as the mayor of the city of Augusta, but also as the past chair of the Regional Economic Area Partnership. And everything that the mayor and Commissioner Norton said regarding our future, it's so very true. There is a very real threat out there from our regions trying to lure our people and our jobs to their own areas. It takes our combined attention, our combined efforts, not to just keep it at bay, but to make it to make a real difference in protecting the jobs and the people who call South Central Kansas our home. We believe in this effort. This is very important to all of us, our smaller communities and our larger area, Wichita. We have momentum. Let's keep it going. This is about growing and competing so that we can continue to live and thrive right here. When you live in a small community, your identity is defined by that town or that city. When something happens to a neighbor or a friend or a family member, the whole community comes together to make things happen. That's what we're talking about here. Working together, focusing on our resources, and ultimately making sure that we don't lose what we have all worked so hard to have here together and what we've accomplished. Focusing and harnessing our resources and getting things done, we know all about that. We gladly jump on the bandwagon and will encourage people in our communities, I certainly will in Augusta, and those beyond Sedgwick County to participate with this project and get as many voices heard as possible. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Mayor Williams, for being here from the great community of Augusta. My name is Wayne Chambers, and along with Summer Kepler, we together co-chair Visioneering. I would like to take also a moment to thank the leaders that are here because it is important for them to be here to listen to the message. Both the elected officials and the leaders from the business at large, because I think it shows their support for a very important community-focused effort. Let me add, while we are talking about and addressing some short-term goals today, that Visioneering and those that support Visioneering still have the original initiatives from the Visioneering plan in sight. We have not forgotten about those. As you know, many individuals and organizations are working on issues that are important to our regional community, and they continue to do good work. You just heard from Commissioner Norton that we have success in several areas, and we continue to add momentum in other areas. Many of these issues we continue to work on and speak about today are part of a larger, more complex, long-term initiative for the benefit of the community at large. In business, sometimes we set short-term goals to achieve long-term results. And really, that's all that we're talking about here today. Visioneering, our partners, and others in the community will continue to push forward on all of the priorities. Now, in the next phase that Summer spoke about that we're bringing to the public today, we look forward to hearing what people have to say across the community. It is important for them to say it. It is important for us as a community to hear it. And that's why we wanted to bring you to this press conference today to talk about that. It is easy. The easy button. Go to the website, make a selection from the 8 initiatives that were outlined, or identify your own thoughts and ideas about what the priorities should be. We want to listen to each and every person that goes on the survey. As Summer mentioned, there will be an opportunity for the public to put forth different priorities than even those listed in the survey. In closing, I would like to thank Mayor Brewer, Chair Commissioner Norton, Mayor Williams for being here today and speaking to us on this very important public initiative. I'd like to offer a personal thank you to the Visioneering partners and those who participated to get us where we're at today. Finally, and most importantly, I thank you in advance to the people in the community for going to the survey, expressing your thoughts and ideas, and giving us your feedback. It is important, critically important for all of us to hear that. Thank you again, and those of us that are a part of the conference will be here for questions and comments after it's over. Thank you.